Okay, so let's identify procrastination. Maybe I don't need to explain procrastination, we all know it so well. But let's spend a minute or two just making sure we're all on the same page. Procrastination is when you have something important to do, but you keep putting it off, mostly by finding other things to do. You can't focus your time or your attention. It can feel like there's a massive wall in your way, or you might feel more like you're in a ditch or a hole, or you might feel like every time you move towards this task, your brain starts to shut down and you can't think. Overall, you feel stuck. The thing that distinguishes procrastination from other types of blocks and barriers is that you still keep quite busy. But instead of getting on with the important job, there are emails to attend to. It's suddenly really important to check your social media. There are things to find, people to see, books to read, research to do, furniture to repair. Goodness gracious, there's grass to watch growing. You know. Lots of activity, but no real action. Your brain does indeed turn off, but only in relation to this particular task. You do something else and suddenly your brain is on again and you've recovered. This is the message of procrastination. It's not that you can't get on with it, or even that you won't get on with it. You just don't get on with it. Instead, you get on with anything else, anything and everything. And now it's different if you go into a slump and you can't do anything. No energy, no motivation. That's not procrastination. Being unable to do anything can be very serious. It could be a dose of severe laziness, but you've got to look at depression and anxiety, and we can help you with that too. Let us know if you feel like that. But for now, we're dealing with procrastination, the art of doing everything and anything other than what you need to do. So that's what it feels like and looks like. I know that some people say that it's just about motivation and you should just get on with it. But that approach can have the opposite effect on some people. It's like saying, well, if you were worth anything, you'd fight it, you'd overpower it, you'd be a winner. Talk about a negative criticism and really personal. But what if your procrastination is a behaviour that's trying to tell you something really important? It may or may not surprise you, but most of our behaviour is a surface action that's driven by a whole set of inner processes that we're mostly not even aware of. Now, I know it gets complicated when people talk about levels of consciousness, but in my neuroscience world, we kind of say it's either conscious when you're aware of it, which mostly means you can talk about it, or non-conscious, which is kind of everything else that you're not aware of, you can't talk about, and often that's what you end up in trouble with. Don't freak out. Having non-conscious processes is quite normal. I'll give you a simple example. Several times a day, at least a dozen different things go on in your body and your brain in which you're totally unaware of. You start to exhibit a very strange behaviour. The behaviour's very simple. You feel hungry. You want to eat. But feeling hungry, it's really a club-fisted response to a whole bunch of really interesting messages. But you don't know how much, you don't know what vitamins you need, how many calories. You just grab a bunch of food, eat it, until another bunch of messages come along and tell you to stop. Now really, if you had to think about every activity in your brain and your body, you'd go nuts. So we've evolved a system where we wait until these non-conscious things build up into something that matters. And then we start behaving in ways that will solve the issues or bring attention to the issues. See, like eating, or maybe something like you feel sick, or you're upset, or you're procrastinating. Now, our behaviours are often blunt and non-specific, but they are trying to tell you something important, and procrastination is no different. It may stop us moving forward, which is the problem we focus on, but then we totally miss the fact that our procrastination is a message telling us to stop moving forward and sort out some important issue in the background. Maybe the message is as simple as get on with it, but usually it's more than that. Now, here are a few that I've had from clients over the years. I have a problem with a person or people involved with this project. It takes a while to get to that sometimes. I have something that is even more important on my mind. Now, this can be from your personal life, from your relationships, from your friendships. but it's something that you feel is more important. And this business thing, what does it matter? Maybe the message is, I'm not healthy. I'm not getting enough sleep. I'm eating too much junky food. I'm worried. I'm stressed. These things can make you sick, or at least unwell. And motivation and confidence can be badly affected when you're unwell. Your brain literally turns off. It's so hard to think and be productive. Here's one. I hate what I'm doing. You really wish you were somewhere else or with someone else. And this procrastination is trying to tell you to look at this. So the message from this video is there is a message in your problem. Fighting off the problem just pushes the message down. Let's do something about it right now. The next video opens up your mind to your procrastination type. Overwhelm, underwhelm, the perfectionist and creative block. And it gives you messages for change. And that's what we need, and that's what we're on about here.